think he was the most skillful big man this summer in this league. The things I help him with is just calming down in the post, taking his time, because he's a very, very skilled big man. He's so talented and coachable. He's going to be a terrific player in this league. He's coming to the perfect team. He's got great length. He's ahead of the curve defensively, offensively. He can shoot the ball. Him around Chris Middleton is going to do wonders for his game.
All right, thank you, man. Vin Baker joining me with, chopping it up with Olskool. That's what I call the show, chopping it up with Olskool.
Got it.
Gotta have it like a trend. So, can you do that for me? Chopping it up. Okay, thank you. Now, man, look, I gotta ask you this, man. Have you ever coached as a head coach, being in that first seat, hot seat? Have you ever done that before?
No, that was my first time being in the head coaching position. I've coached a few places in AAU and high school, but not at this level of competition. So that was my very first time.
What's that feeling like, man? I know just when you move over just one seat or two closer to the head man, that heat turns up.
It's hot.
You're in the hot seat. How does that feel?
Oh, it was a hot seat for sure. Especially when we got down 18-4 to Brooklyn, my very first game. So the seat was scorching hot. But it was, as competitors, you know this, big bro, as a competitor, you enjoy it. We've prepared for it as a team. The players are prepared, the coaching staff, the front office, all of us prepared to come here and did what we needed to do as far as training camp, practices. We have a template, obviously, from the Bucks of what we want to do, how we want to play. So from that standpoint, it was relatively seamless to move to that seat. It's just the anxiety of the game and how it's called, the referees and all that stuff.
And having your pulse, your finger on the pulse of the game. But my next question, Ben, is how much input does Coach Bud have in terms of what you do? Or does he give you a lot of latitude to kind of just be a coach and do your own thing?
Oh, for sure. Coach is giving myself and Blaine quite a bit of freedom to do what we want within the offense. Obviously, we want to do things the Bucks way, as far as our running habits and things like that, our 5-out spacing. But as far as our creativity and what we wanted to do in Summer League, we kind of had a little bit of freedom to do that. And, we wanted to put Sandro, MarJon, Lindell in places where they could succeed. And that's not necessarily the same places Chris, Giannis, and Drew are in. So we had that freedom a little bit, and I think we had some success doing that.
Let's talk about those three. You mentioned Sandro, you mentioned Lindell, you mentioned MarJon, but first Lindell, he looks to be as comfortable, man, as I've ever seen, especially the last time out watching him. He just looks so comfortable on the floor. What's been the approach with him?
Well, his confidence level is just high. He has the talent and the ability. He's a super athlete. He's competitive. His shooting was great in the summertime. So he had two things that were going to make him be successful coming to the Summer League. His confidence was high. He's got the ability at the point guard position to get by people, his quickness, speed, athleticism, and then he shot the ball well. So I wasn't surprised that he had the success that he had, and certainly I, as a staff, we gave him the confidence and the freedom to be himself.
Well, as a player, man, a coaching staff can build you up and they can break you down, right? And they can keep you somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys have done just a tremendous job of just encouraging him to stay confident, stay aggressive, do what you do.
Yeah, that's what I, during the timeouts and during the huddles, or when I get an opportunity to bring the players over, that was my biggest thing, is play confident, be loose. Anytime you play, even for me, obviously my first time being a head coach, but even when you play in front of crowds, I don't care if it's Pfizer, if it's Thomas and Mack, the guys have some nervous energy. So part of my job was to keep them relaxed. It's a summertime environment. I know I know where you want to go. I know you're trying to impress everybody in the building, including the Bucks front office and coaching staff, but part of impressing them is being yourself.
Well, I'm going to go off script here because I'm going to talk about Sandro next, but when you talk about keeping them relaxed, there was a situation, I think it was the first game, you had a big lead, and that lead was dwindled down to whatever, 4 or 5 points. I think it was A.J. Green.
Yeah, A.J. Green,
He had a turnover in the back court. He was pressured.
Yes.
So I looked to you just to see if you were going to be like, oh, God, you idiot. Man, you stood over there just as an unflappable. Okay, so that's okay. Let's on to the next play. But you know how soothing for a player, the personality of your coach is, man. How do you get that so fast?
Well, you know this, Big Bro, from playing in big games. You've been in many of big games and been a great basketball player yourself. We've seen everything under the sun happen in basketball. So that play, although it happened then, we've probably seen either that play or something similar to it 100 times over. Anything that can happen will happen in basketball games. So as much as I was inside going crazy, my composure was kept, because as a coach, you got to kind of think to the next play. It's kind of like the Boston situation where we were up one and they went to the scorer's table with 11 seconds to go. Now we're going from you're keeping the ball, holding it for 11 seconds till they change the score. And now we've got to come up with a play to either tie it or win the game or go up one. So you just got to keep your composure.
Well, and I think that leads, Vin, to this team. The one thing that jumps out at me when I watch this team, and it doesn't happen all the time. It's not a given in summer league basketball with new guys kind of thrown together. But they're playing with a lot of passion, a lot of purpose. They're playing hard. And most importantly, they're playing with a lot of enthusiasm. They're having a lot of fun, man. I think that's a tribute to you and your staff and what you guys are doing with it.
Yeah, my assistant for the summer, Blaine, talked about this. He used the word when we first brought the team together. He said, "Play with joy," and he actually came up with that word, and it was amazing. Like, playing with joy is a huge part of playing this game. Having a good spirit. You've got the talent to be here, but part of the success and your success is going to come from having a joy for the game, and so that's what I try to do with the guys, is make it fun throughout the whole week.
Well, and it's evident by how they play. Quickly, Sandro, he told me he loves playing for you. I mean, just in terms of a big man understanding, a big man who's just not a back-to-the-basket guy like you were. You were out on the perimeter like he likes to be out on the perimeter. Just quickly, Sandro, in terms of what you've done for him.
Well, I think he was the most skillful big man this summer in this league. And so I just talked to him about, we worked in the gym, obviously doing vitamins, and we've had some private workouts, but just the confidence. A couple times he gets a little rushed and sped up. And so the things I help him with is just calming down in the post, taking his time, because he's a very, very skilled big man. So that's what I help him with.
Well, and he said to me explicitly that his confidence right now is as high as it's ever been. I think the numbers prove that out. And then finally, the new guy, MarJon. I mean, a new guy coming in, young guy like this coming into a situation like this. First game I saw, there were some rough spots. He looked, a little sped up, a little nervous, but as Summer League has progressed, he's really settled into his little comfort zone too. Yeah,
he's so talented and coachable. He's going to be a terrific player in this league. He's coming to the perfect team. He's got great length. He's ahead of the curve defensively, offensively. He can shoot the ball. And I was saying this last night, him around Chris Middleton is going to do wonders for his game in the next year or two, because he's got that talent, he's got that ability, but he's coachable, and he's got that quiet spirit like Chris is. So he couldn't have come to a better situation. And
just a brief mention of Luka. I mean, in terms of, he's got this little pocket pass thing. Would you love to have been a roller?
Oh, gosh.
He's got a little pocket pass thing going on. It's just out of this world.
Yeah, he's got a great pocket pass. He's got great vision, and he's not afraid to make the passes. They're not always, he doesn't complete them all, but he completes a great deal of them, so it's fun to watch him play.
So look, man, you never know what you're going to see when you watch a guy like yourself whose aspiration is to be a head coach one day, getting that hot seat. But man, from everything that I have seen so far, you are headed, your trajectory is right on point.
Thank you,
man.
big man.
In a
Thank you.
great direction.
Thank you.
Great direction. I don't say that like, I don't just say things just to say it, man.
No, thank you,
Great
man.
job.
Thank you, man.
All right.
I appreciate you, man.
Okay.